suit activated. Maximum gain.
Hello, I'm VTech and this is my tech video for the Intel HD630. If you watched my Intel HD530 video, you will probably find this video very familiar, as the two graphic chips are more or less the same. This video is aimed at users who are not interested in technology and are only supposed to address the most important issues. What should be interesting on the first slide is that the Intel HD615, HD620, HD630 and HDP630 have the same graphic chip, namely named GHz, and thus, despite different naming, are equal fast. On the second slide we see why there is nevertheless a difference between the four different names. These can be clocked from 850 to 1150 MHz in 50 MHz steps. Also with the memory speed we have 5 configuration possibilities of 1333 up to 2400 MHz. However, there is another distinction in memory speed between single channel, normal speed and dual channel, double speed. On the third slide I have summarized the whole again and prepared a few examples. As we can see, we have 7 different clock rates and 10 different memory speeds for the same iGPU HD615, HD620, HD630 and HDP630. The example with the 1050 MHz and DDR4 2133 MHz represents my test system with 40 FPS. Above I show you the worst case with the eGPU running at 950 MHz and 1333 MHz RAM speed in single channel configuration, which loses 10 FPS or more up to my setup. Underneath there is a standard maximum Kaby Lake HD630 system with 1150 MHz and 2400 MHz RAM that gains 3 FPS, but mostly from the higher clock rate of the eGPU. A system overclocked at 1300 MHz with 3200 MHz OC memory would be able to increase the FPS by 9 compared to my test system. Since each game reacts somewhat different to more chip clock and memory clock, these examples are only seen as a rough basis. I would calculate as a rule of thumb per 50 MHz chip clock 1 FPS plus minus, as well as for the memory per 266 MHz 1 FPS plus minus. How the games convert on different RAM speed you can see in my videos since I test with 3 clock rates. How does this help you in practice? You can see very well that one must pay attention to which video you look at YouTube and how was tested, since you cannot compare every HD630 system one-on-one, and in the worst case differences of 40% may arise. I have selected for my test system a configuration which is very well in the middle, and thus my settings should be usable by many users. If you were not sure about whether your system will run well with my settings, you can ask me. On the fourth slide I have listed the multimedia functions, but these have no influence on the gaming performance. Anyway, they are the biggest difference between the HD530 and HD630. On the last slide I have listed your all Kaby Lake processors with the CPU clock, as well as the iGPU clock and the graphic chip name. With the i7 7Y75 we have a CPU with the HD615 that clocks with 1050 MHz, while a desktop i7 7100H with the HD630 only clocks with 950 MHz and would be slightly slower. The Pentium 4410Y and M3 7Y30 are only here for the sake of completeness, but only usable for office and browser gaming maybe. Thank you for listening to me, and I hope this was understandable enough and I could help one or the other to understand the most important basics. If you enjoyed the video, I would be happy if you liked it, and if you do not want to miss my future videos, then subscribe to my channel. If you have further questions, feel free to write them down in the comment area or send me an email.